Hey guys. Hey, so have you ever tried to get chickens to follow you for a very long period of time? It's really annoying because, come on chickies, my home is over there. These chickens are over here. So, anyhow, okay, no, we're good. We're good. As long as they can kind of meander their way through here and not fall down, we should be good. Anyhow, today we're going to talk about the very basics of labeling theory. So I'm sure as high school students we all know kind of the implications of labels and things like that. So labeling theory is the topic for discussion today. So for labeling theory, you know what, I can't do this. I cannot try to herd these chickens. Come here, guys. I cannot herd these chickens and... come on, get up on land. And try to talk to you about labeling theory at the same time. It just doesn't work for me. Okay, I'll be back. Oh, boy. Anyhow, get back out of here and I'll get to the notes for you. And you'll have some background music too. So, here's what labeling theory is. Defining deviant behavior. So your individual response to a behavior is not what determines deviance, and that's relatively true. I could leave this on, I guess, it doesn't really matter. So deviance is the result of how society interprets a behavior, not necessarily how you as an individual interpret behavior. So think of it this way. If you think about someone, there's a YouTube video that I'll post for you on Classroom. If you want to look at it, it's not going to be a requirement as of yet or anything like that. It might be put on there for tomorrow along with some exit tickets. But so if you are a person who's getting medical marijuana, if you live in certain states, then that already allows medical marijuana, already allows even recreational marijuana, then the stigma attached to that is going to be a lot less. Also, Minecraft is very loud. Why is Minecraft loud? I don't understand why Minecraft is so loud. Oh, here we go. Whew. Also, individuals who are labeled as deviant often internalize this judgment as part of their self-identity. So they actually embrace the label that is put upon them. So if you are a person who is like a freegan, for instance, they embrace that label. They make it a part of their own personal identity, and it almost kind of becomes a self-fulfilling prophecy, so to speak. So that's that. Now, the effects of deviant labels. Those labels as deviant likely face negative consequences. So a lot of times, if, like the freegans, for instance, again, most people in society would deem that as deviant behavior. Trying to think of a few others. I mean, back in the day, skater boys back in the 1990s were deemed as deviant behavior. Grunge metal, things like that was deemed as deviant behavior. Even rock and roll in the 1960s. So that is where people that ascribe to that, also the counterculture in the 1960s. Deviant behavior. So you usually face some sort of negative consequences from society when doing that. Criminal behavior also it gets labeled as deviant behavior, and also the mentally ill. A lot of times there's a certain stigma attached to having a mental illness. So if you have a behavior that goes along with your illness, that can, kind of leave you up to, being susceptible to some negative social interactions through doing that. And then the last thing is master status that we want to talk about today. Like I said, we're not getting into anything too awfully major today. Pretty simple, pretty short. Master status is where people perceive, judge others based on one particular trait or characteristic. It's kind of like your overall group identification that you're a part of. So if you're college educated, or if you have career skills, if you are a diligent worker, if you're reliable, if you're mentally ill, if whatever segment or trait kind of is your main identifier, that becomes your master status. For me, my master status is I'm a teacher. That's probably the most salient trait that I that I have right now. In addition to being like a dad and stuff like that, but in terms of our interactions, it's the trait that I have as being a teacher. So that's really all I want to get into today. No bell work or no exit ticket today, nothing like that. Tomorrow we'll have that YouTube video and probably an exit ticket on that for you. It's relatively short, nothing too awfully major. So I'm still getting kind of the hang of this. I'm not used to doing this on a regular basis with sociology. So again, I appreciate you guys working with me, kind of being patient with me while we work through this. So have a great day, and we'll catch you guys later.